What's up guys, YCS Utrecht. We are here with JamieTheKid00.
What's good guys?
So what'd you do?
I ended up making day 2 with completely untested Kozmo True Draco. It was a list that I appropriated from my good friend Aaron Henman, so all the credit is going to go to him with regards to the actual build, so my explanation is going to be kind of a bit half-baked. I wish I could say that I'd done better. I really wanted to get at least one more win under my belt to try and make a top cut with Kozmo, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. I lost the first round to BA, who actually ended up topping, and then I got absolutely flattened by True Draco. The deck's inconsistencies really showed on the second day, but we can happily get into the list.
Yep,
I'm probably going to go like a 20-minute list on my own channel, but we won't bore your viewers with that.
Shoutouts to JamieTheKid, make sure you sub guys.
We'll put it in the description, yeah?
Yeah.
So jumping into the main, we played for the kind of the MVPs, 1 Dark Eclipser and 2 Dark Destroyers. This being back at 2 was super impactful with the kind of OTKs that you can do using Farm Girl, and even just the consistency of actually drawing these and being able to make the play twice. It was so much more beneficial. The deck's never been so smooth to play. People wish this was back at 3, but I think like 2 is enough for the moment. It's just the option to have the second one, you're not constantly floating over it. Then a mistake that I felt was we played 1 Forerunner. I felt like this should have been 2. I don't know what it was, something about either the foils in my deck or just the quantity of ships I was playing, but I think over Swiss, maybe 3 of my opening hands included a diagram and a big ship. They were almost always diagram pilot. So I don't know what it was. Since I started playing side events with a second one of these, things got a lot smoother, so I definitely recommend 1 more of this. Going down in level order, I played 1 Wicked Witch. I played, Dark Lady, not Wicked Witch. 1 Dark Lady. Dark Lady was really good against the Trickstar matchup because I realized that they really wanted to try and build an advantage and put monsters on the field using monster effects. And because this is 22, unless they have trap assistance or unless they're playing the Sky Striker package, if they're playing pure, they pretty much just can't beat this. So 2 wins were literally just this sitting on the field, beating them down under Gozen and things like that. So this is crazy. Then 2 Slip Riders. This comes in clutch because it deals with a lot of the floodgates in the game. Floodgates only semi-hurt this deck anyway, but it's really important. And also you get loads of really fun interactions with your own True Draco cards that the deck plays. And of course, set rotationing and getting Kozmo Town pops and continue your OTK plays. The 1 Farm Girl, a lot of people question this when they saw it outright, but really the only time you're ever bringing this out nowadays is to push for an OTK damage, getting that extra Dark Destroyer and getting your OTK combo off. So you're really only getting it when you've made a True Draco play to clear your opponent's monster, and then you diagram for one of the big ships, bringing this out. Then otherwise, something else I regretted that I wanted to change out was play 3 Strawman. Aaron was really adamant about this. I submitted my list in pre-reg, and then 2 hours later he submitted his list and he'd taken 1 out. We both took 1 of these out and changed it for a Wicked Witch, or is it Dark Witch, the one that kind of pays 1,000 to protect itself. We found that was so much stronger because it gave us a Dark Pilot under Gozen match to actually be able to tag out into Dark Destroyer and things like that, which these can't do. And it's also that interaction, if you don't actually have a pilot that you can summon into an attacking board, you kind of just have to throw this away and you lose your advantage chain. At least having that, that extra target would have given us a way to keep board presence for the next turn. So that was something I wish we could have changed. And then something else a lot of players questioned was 1 Tin Can. I really think that 1 Tin Can was enough because this was a going second build. So the whole idea was you're only really bringing this out when you have to do the Tin Can Strawman play to kind of give yourself a play for later on. Otherwise, there's really no reason to have it in the deck. And I didn't regret the number. 1 was absolutely perfect. If we were going first or playing Demise, we'd definitely bump it up. Then for the True Draco complement, 1 Dynamite. This card is nuts. I can't believe it's back. 2 Ignis and 1 Maiden. I wouldn't change the ratio on this. I think it was perfect. Sometimes I did want 1 more, but I feel like I would have run the risk of clogging because at the end of the day, this was a Kozmo deck, not a True Draco deck. These were just in here to give me an advantage push and help me swing for those OTKs, giving me clears and popping my own Kozmo Town, things like that. Wouldn't change that. Everyone knows True Draco by now. For the hand traps, I was originally playing 3 Ash and then 3 Ghost Ogre, but I ended up dropping the Ghost Ogres. Well, we both ended up dropping the Ghost Ogres for 3 Gammas and the Driver. Really, this was absolutely insane. There are so many people who wanted to kind of Ash this or Ghost Ogre Diagram, and when people don't know what you're playing, they think that Ghost Ogering a Diagram is going to cripple what they assume is a card of Demise True Draco deck, and then all of a sudden this gets banged down, they never see it coming. and it was absolutely ridiculous. It won so many games. It was really refreshing because actually in testing, all of my friends knew I was playing it, so they all played around it, and in Swiss it was just disgusting because everyone just played into it. So that rounds off the monster count. I'm afraid I don't have the counts for you guys, but it makes up the majority of the deck. Inherently, with this being going second, you're not going to see very many traps. But onto the spells. We played 3 Kozmo Town. This should have been at 2, and 3 Diagram. Going into Winamats, I changed one of these out for the second Forerunner that we talked about, and it was vastly better. You overdraw this if you play 3, especially in a build like this, so I feel like this was unnecessary and should be Forerunner. 3 Diagram, I wish I could play more of it. It's honestly the MVP of the deck. I wish I could open it all the time, but unfortunately my deck is weird and just gives me this in Pilots, but this in Ships, please, that'd be great. Then for the remaining supporting cast, 2 terraformings and 1 set rotation. I drew set rotation like it was my job. And if I wasn't activating this twice a match, I wasn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it was insane. It was always there for me, and it promotes just dumb OTKs. As long as you can get the diagram off and get to the spell, it's unreal. Then 1 E-Telly, you already know how obscene this is. The fact that you can like make a push with a true Draco and like a ship play that you've popped, like ship, get Strawman, bring the ship back. Teleport, get Farm Girl such as Dark Destroyer, you special the Dark Destroyer, just blow up the ship you had. It's obscene. And then for the True Draco spells, 2 Heritage, 2 Disciples, just obscene. And these pop Kozmo Town, which is really, really good. And give you draw advantage, so it helps you unbrick. And then for the traps, I just played the True Draco complement. Again.
Do you consider playing more like combo Kozmo cards, like the Sword Troopers or anything like that?
I'll be honest with you, I'm a really big fan of playing combo decks in general. People who know me will see like I've played like really random crazy stuff in the past, but I really realized that I lose to myself more often than not. So my big worry was I wanted to play something that was a little bit more linear at the very least, because I was worried that in long events like this, I will normally like burn really bright for the first few rounds, and then I'll just burn out and make mistakes. So I tried to reduce my ceiling a little. I was going to play Altergeist, didn't think that I'd win with that. So I thought, hell, I'll shoot my shot on something that's like semi-linear, and loads of people are going to lose to me because they won't know what I'm doing. So it can be a bit more forgiving to me if I make mistakes. So I'm not going to be one of these players who's like, everyone else was terrible. I was trash, I just wanted to make people a little more trash with me.
So how about Desires in the main as well? I thought maybe with Dark Destroyer back to do it was maybe possible. If I'd
have had time to test the deck, genuinely my first game ever with it was round 1 of the YCS, which I lost, which was great fun. If I'd have had more time to test it, I would have been able to work out if the deck can play on. But there's a lot of one-offs in here and a lot of engine cards that can really shut down the main purpose of the deck if you do Desires wrong. It's similar to when I was playing an Invoked engine in my Sky Striker deck, and I had like flashbacks of that I just didn't want to go to. And I played Desires and Altergeist and kept on banishing my Siliquitiuses. So I feel like at the time Desires was fresh in my mind as being really damaging, but it's definitely something to really consider. So I think that's what I'd do going forward. I'll definitely be playing it and testing.
Alright, see the extra and the sight.
Extra's kind of fairly inconsequential. I wish I'd have played the Volcasaurus package, but I didn't actually bring them with me on the flight. And none of the vendors had Gaias, so I ended up going without. But you need to play the Volcasaurus engine. But we played, are we good in angle?
Yeah.
We played the Infinity package, Durendal, because it's fun negation and Pleiades. So this is where the Gaia and the Volcasaurus should have been. That's that. Then it was kind of just generic stuff. It was the Hayate for the mind control, which was absolutely clutch, especially going towards time. The Nightmare package, Ningarisu to deal with certain problem cards that need descending, and Topologic for control decks, but again, these are cards you're never really going to make. We side Cyber Dragon, as we'll see in a moment, so we side into these two because we thought Cyber Dragons were going to be prolific, and a lot of people that I've noticed play Cyber Dragons, they can sometimes just leave a Cyber Dragon up. You can just contact away their field if you mainboard these, so it's absolutely obscene. Then we sided Super Poly. Well, sorry, no, not we. I sided Super Poly because I really thought it was going to be a clutch out to kind of those mono attribute decks. So this was phenomenal. Every time I drew Super Poly, it was absolutely fantastic and super live, so I loved it. And then these two were just picks for the Omega. This wins you games in time, and you pop your own ships to get advantage. And then this needs no explanation. It's at 1 for a reason. Rest in peace, Light Swan. And then for the sideboard, 3 Dunkaseka, these were obscene. I never used them in Swiss because I didn't play that many back row decks. I only played 1 Altergeist. But in the side events, it was absolutely phenomenal in Wintermat. Triple Cyber Dragon, I would have played 2 and a 3rd Mind Control, but I didn't have them, so this was the way it worked out. I never actually drew this and used it, so all the breeze I just chatted about the cyber stuff. It was all theory, it never came up, but I know Aaron in Wintermat took away a Cyber Dragon's board just for the audacity of playing the Chimera in the main. 2 Hatronade for outing the multi-roll boards. 2 Mind Control, as we discussed before. 1 Super Poly, as discussed before. It's just an obscene out to things like Mechaba and other mono attribute boards. Aaron wanted to main 2 Call by the Grave. I think the feature match just ended. Aaron mained these, but I thought with the Gammas we'd be playing too many outs to hand traps, so I didn't really think it was necessary. And then I played 2 MSTs just for generic outs to things like Imperial Iron War and Rivalry of the Warlords.
Awesome. Any final shoutouts, comments, plugs?
Genuinely not. Just, of course, plug again to Aaron. Thank you so much for the list. Thank you to all the folks who've been following me on social media, and thank you to all the kind of I guess the legacy fans on YouTube that still come up to me at events and kind of call me out on not making videos. I am trying. That's why I'm here playing this. I will be back on it. But otherwise, no. Just look forward to London. Really looking forward to what this deck brings for me. I'm hoping I can play it there, or Thunder Dragons that my friend's trying to get me on. But yeah, just glad to be back and playing.
Awesome. Thanks, and see you next time.
Pleasure. Take care.